All is good.
Nice. We made some progress internally. I just had a quick check with the team in terms of metrics and KPIs. We're also specifically talking about marketing targets, cost per lead, and things like that. We are ready to share something, but I want to get in alignment with the team first. Then I'll share it with you, Eric. If you give us the thumbs up, then we're ready to roll this out. But we're getting really, really close. So I'm really happy about that.
Cool.
In terms of, so expect an update probably end of day-ish. Eric, I just have to connect with Cam and Parker to wrap things up, make sure that these numbers are solid and scalable moving forward, and then we're going to share it with you. So expect some communication later in the afternoon.
Got it. Okay.
What's going on the advertising side? Jaime, do you have an update for us?
Yeah, if you want to pull up the daily tracker, it's all up to date. So, in my experience, or just from looking at the ads, there seems to be, like, especially last week, obviously with the holidays, we got behind on a lot of the leads, so we were kind of just playing catch up. But it seems like once we caught up and we're getting in contact, like we talked about, getting in contact with the leads, on a sooner, time base, we were getting better, responses. And then same thing happened this past weekend. Fell off happened. We weren't able to get in contact with some of those leads, and you saw the drop off with SQLs. So there's just that disconnect of just not getting in contact with the leads over the weekend, where we're seeing that drop off in SQLs.
Do we have, so who's in charge of following up, and how are you working together?
So yeah, there's no one as of right now. I don't believe there's anyone in charge over the weekend. But when Azucena, when she's working, I am in contact with her on a daily basis. She is continually following up with new leads, and then with our follow-up system with MQLs, she gets notifications after the second day she'll receive a notification to follow up with them. The fourth day she'll receive a notification to follow up with them. So she is doing that as well. So not only are we getting in contact with them right away as soon as possible, but we're also nurturing them with emails and follow-up phone calls along the way.
Okay. So that seems to be fruitful. Here's one example I want to give you, because we just tested something with another client in a similar situation. So so we actually did it with two, and I'm going to give you both examples, and then let's discuss how we can mimic this for us. Okay. One of them, so the first example, this is a dentist that we're working with. Mm-hmm. This dentist is closed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right.
So they only have the clinics open Monday through Thursday. Now, if a lead comes in on Friday, up until recently, nobody touched the lead. Same thing for Saturdays and Sundays. Mm-hmm. What we changed is we have basically a person on standby that handles the leads, simply acknowledging that we received a message, and try to book a call for then Monday, Tuesday next week.
Right. Yes.
If we can go that far and say, okay, can you, I don't know, are our agents working Saturdays or Sundays? Yes or no?
Our independent agents, yes. Our internal agents, not necessarily, unless we're scheduling them for like an event or something.
Got it. So is there a way, and I don't need an answer right away, but is there a way where we can have a selected few of these just teasing, hey, there might be some leads coming in on weird hours or even on Saturdays and Sundays, and are you willing to take this lead if I'm forwarding it to you? Just think about that, because it changed the dentist office dramatically. Mm-hmm. All we needed to do, there's literally just in the first minute, a lead comes in, the person picks up the phone, the person just wants to acknowledge that they've been hurt. I did something on the internet that seems a little weird, and now I'm connecting with a real human being. The second example I want to give you is from a client of ours, Harper Ellis Hair. So they sell hair extensions to salon owners and to stylists. Similar kind of situation. All of the stylists are working basically from 8 a.m. to like 6 or 7 p.m. That's our target group. So whenever somebody reaches out to them, they are behind the chair doing stuff with hair, and they are so busy, there's no way they think about growing a business or buying some additional stuff. So we pivoted from having the salespeople being core, all heavy outbound activities, not just from 8 to 6. We started at 5 and we have it intensively go until 9 p.m. Also, Mondays is where most of the salons and stylists are closed. So Monday is a really, really call heavy day. So similar principle applies. We want to adjust to where the consumer is at or where our target group's at, and then make it as convenient as possible. The initial outbound activity is really just to acknowledge, hey, I heard your message, I received your message. The next step is for us to schedule a call. Can we do this right now, later today, or tomorrow? Which time works best for you? It takes probably like 2 minutes to follow up, and I understand it disrupts somebody's personal time that they have. But if they want to close more deals and actually make more money doing that, I think that might be something we want to consider. So now that we have the automation dialed in, aka the technology piece works, every time a new lead comes in, somebody gets notified. Now we need to handle them also on these off times. Think about and let me know if you have somebody in mind that can actually take this on, and we can incentivize people based on that as well. So in the example for the hair salon, we shifted their complete hours of operation. They don't start, so they have a short, like a 2-hour window early in the morning. Most of the morning is free, where they do their family stuff, run errands, and do whatever they want to do, live their life. And then later in the afternoon, it picks up again for a couple of hours, because we know our stylists are available, or most receptive between like 5 and 8 or 9 p.m.
And the stylists are the ones that are making the calls for these leads?
No, the stylist is the target group. So this is
that's when they're available.
That's when they're, yes.
Yeah.
It's more like a real estate agent. I think the easiest to explain is like a real estate agent. I am working, 10, 12 hours every single day. If you want to show me a house and win my deal, we got to do something Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings. Otherwise, I don't have time. That's when the real estate agent accommodates to my schedule. And I want you guys to think about this way. Let our agents contact our prospects whenever it's convenient for our prospects, and not when we have official office hours. Yeah. It's the same in every service business. Mm-hmm. But we now have some data that proves, hey, this concept works because we're connecting with people whenever it's convenient for them and not for us.
Yeah, I mean, we essentially could probably assign one of our appointment setters to work, let's say early morning, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yep.
And all of the leads we couldn't get through during the week, maybe that's also the live leads that come in the weekend, but plus maybe some people we couldn't reach during the week, and we have the success.
Probably get a better, contact rate because now that they're probably available through the weekend. Yeah.
That's right. The core concept I want you guys to consider here is how quickly can we handle a lead? Mm-hmm. That's it, period.
Online.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So that's some good learnings, but these numbers actually don't look that bad at all.
Yeah.
Right. So if I take a look at that, if we generated 9 MQLs and already have like 3 transition where they schedule an appointment, that's actually not bad. The cost per lead also doesn't look bad at all. So that's good data, and it shows that we're on the right track. Specifically for the Spanish ones, it seems like these are even better than.
Yeah, the Spanish ones definitely seem to be performing better than the English, for sure.
Are we doing something different? Is it the same creative? Is it the same message? Are we changing something?
Right now for these, we're pretty much using the creatives from Covered CA. From their YouTube channel, it's their videos, but the targeting I think is really on point. So what I did is I took the Covered CA Facebook page that has hundreds and thousands of followers and create a lookalike audience around that.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
That's smart.
and then targeting obviously within our vicinity and all that. So I think that's why we're getting such a great response rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel if you find something that works.
Yep.
The question then becomes, and I'm always going to say that, can we do more of that? Can we,
Yeah.
so how long are these ads right now? And can we make shorter versions? Can we
and
publish
that's
this more frequently? Can we produce an organic piece of content that supports that? These kind of things.
And so that's what I was talking with Frank during our last meeting is these are just creatives from Covered CA. Now we should run our own creative with Frank or Eric talking. Same thing we did with the other events and do those. Yeah.
Do we have, I assume we have a Spanish speaking landing page where we're sending people?
Not at the moment. Right now we're still doing the lead form through Facebook. So it's all Spanish through there. But yeah, that's going to be the next step is creating the lead form, the landing page in Spanish.
Yeah, take that, take the message of all of the ads and mimic it on the landing page because then conversion rates will go up even further. And here's the positive side. We're pixeling people so we can send them more content on the retargeting side and prime them.
Right. Yep.
Okay, cool. Nice. What else are we doing on the marketing side right now, Jaime?
So if you go back, you'll see we're doing a T65 event coming up on the 25th. If you scroll down, you'll see those two campaigns. They're kind of towards the bottom. So the English one, we got a little bit more data on. The Spanish one, we just started 2 days ago or pretty much yesterday. And yeah, I think as you can see, as the algorithm learns the ad, we're seeing the cost per MQL go down. But the same kind of thing, since Josh is finally along board, we haven't got a chance to do any video. So it's just an image ad. It's a animated image, so it's somewhat of a video. It's a graphic. But yeah, and that's another opportunity there is to get a video ad of like same thing, Frank talking, promoting the event.
We couldn't repurpose any of the previous.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah. So no, it actually one is a video, one is an image. So I did exactly right. I took the videos from the past and just ended the ending with Frank.
Okay. These ones?
That's Cover California.
That's the Cover California one. If you here, I'll share my screen. I can show you the video.
There's one that I keep getting popped up on my feed. It's like one of Frank talking.
Yeah,
that we did.
Yeah, that's the one. But so I had it split up between obviously stories and.
Yeah, that's the one.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that one.
So it's the same kind of thing. It's the opening, but the ending, I have the information on the actual event going on.
Oh, I like the way you phrase it here with the join the Medicare 101. That makes it really easy and describes what people are. Yeah, that's great.
Cool.
Nice. Is it just one creative that you're running here?
There's two creatives. It's like I said, for stories, it's the video, and then for feeds, it's this image.
I see. Okay.
So we don't have so that video with Frank only shows up in stories. It's not like coming up on people's feed.
No, it's it's stories and reels.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, since it's a vertical format. On these, we can put it in here, but it doesn't recommend it because it's not the right formatting.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna show cropped, huh?
Yeah. So if I click it, it's gonna be cropped out. See, it's only this width.
Yeah. I think what I would, what I would recommend, I'm not thinking, but what I would recommend here is we have this video of Frank as an organic post. Is that right?
Yeah, we have posted that one before. Not for Cover California, we haven't posted it organically.
Yeah, but I would post it. I would use the post, transform that post into an ad by simply just boosting it.
Okay, I
So-
get what you're saying. So instead of doing a creative like here, you're just promoting the actual post.
That's right.
Got it.
Just put like, I don't know, maybe $20 a week or something like that,
Okay.
$25 a week behind it, just to get more reach. Because
Okay.
more or less, like Josh just said, if I'm interacting with the page or if I'm interacting with the post, it's much more likely that the other post that we're now boosting is also showing up in your newsfeed. That's what
Okay.
we want. We want now that they interacted with us once, we want the algorithm to show this person as much of the stuff that we have. You can even use a post that we, or an older post where we're talking about generic stuff, and just amplify that as well. Try with the video, because the video with Frank resonates with people
Mhm.
pretty well.
It really
I would
does.
put
It's funny. We see the comments. People are like Frank, and then they call him out in
Right.
the video.
right. So
Alright.
are we still responding to those? Are we still
Yeah.
monitoring those?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the
Um,
key. If you get more reach, you will get more comments.
Cool.
As we get more comments, use that and then move them over into a chat if you can, in order to get them scheduled with an appointment.
Okay, so yeah,
Good stuff.
that's something we haven't done before. Like boost them from
From the post.
Instagram after we post them. Yeah.
Yep. So you can boost it more or less. So the targeting options are a little more limited,
Right.
but you can boost it out to really important two things you want to do is everybody who interacted with the page
Mhm.
or with some piece of content. I don't know how Facebook phrases it these days, but somebody who interacted with us and their friends. Really important that you also hit and their friends. So everybody who is a friend or follows,
Okay.
they will see that piece of content as well.
Got it.
Good stuff. We're making traction. I love it. What else?
From a marketing standpoint, that's from an advertising standpoint, that's what we're working on.
Okay.
Future stuff we're working on is obviously targeting agents. So I sent Frank some scripts and stuff. That's something that's in the books that we're gonna book. Is create another ad creative for agents.
Okay.
But that's
When are we starting that?
He hasn't given me a time frame on that. Eric, maybe you guys know a little bit more about when we're looking at.
So there's I know we scheduled for Thursday. We scheduled a filming day.
Mhm.
I think in that filming day we're probably gonna
That's
do
what we're
the suggestion you had of creating a podcast style conversation on agent topics that we can cut up into reels
Yep.
that we can use to create ads, right? Or even organic posts.
Mhm.
So we've got that scheduled for next Thursday. And yeah, we're really any other ideas, right? Like we want to do some targeted advertisements for agents. We really need to do a lot of the heavy lifting early in the year because there's agents right now that probably have decided to make changes and we need to capture them, early on.
So the goal here is either to reach out to us. So the CTA is something like reach out to us, or because you can literally put this in like a post or an ad. People love options. So you can either reach out to us directly and we're going to start a conversation, or if you want to actually see how it is, how we interact and how we actually work together, click here and see if you qualify to join our closed Facebook group. And then I would use content from the Facebook group and share a little bit of that as well. So there's plenty of topics in there already. And I would use that as a guide to create more content around that on your shooting day next week.
Got it. Okay.
Nice.
I think, I'm not sure, I'll check with Frank, but I think we had also, or he already created something. I believe it was to do we talked about doing some like mixers with agents, but also I think there's like a virtual one, like if like come in, like promoting something like, I forgot what it is, but some kind of open house virtual that if people just want to kind of like see what we're about, see what we do, we had planned of doing some virtual setup like that. I think down the line we also talked about, maybe trying to create a mixer or something where we can have agents come in, and again, more of like a networking, maybe them learning a little bit more about us.
Mm-hmm.
Probably target more of the low hanging fruit, people who are just kind of like in the aware solution stage, right? Like they're
Yeah.
Right.
like looking
Or like
who's gonna
maybe like a
cover me.
webinar or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if necessarily it was a webinar, but I've done that in the past. We were doing some like ads. We weren't doing ads. We were doing email marketing to all of our. We had a list for like farmers agents, and so we were sending out like, "Hey, we're gonna do a Medicare overview," and in that Medicare overview, I'm speaking about our industry, the opportunities, how we help, and if you want to get contract, like kind of like an overview.
Okay.
And from there, people would say like, "Yeah, I'm interested. Hey, how do I get contracted?" And then kind of like creating some type of pipeline that way. I think what Frank had in mind is somewhat similar. Like, hey, if we just put it out, here's an opportunity. We do a quick overview now, like not something long,
Right.
and that was going to be like one kind of option that people can kind of learn a little bit more about us, kind of like get a like
taste.
Patrick said, get a feel for what we do.
I love the idea, and I want to. Here's something else that doesn't create extra work, not a lot of extra work, just a little bit. And what I'm thinking about is following the phenomenon of, what the Costco's and Sam's Clubs of this world used to do by giving away samples, right? We do this every Wednesday at Cardon Ventures. So what I mean by that is, you guys know we have a morning meeting every single morning at 8:45. This is where our morning meeting is. It takes 15 minutes. And I'm not going to go into detail what we're going to discuss on this morning meeting, but every once in a while, we invite clients who seem to struggle with their morning meetings or not doing these at all. Just, hey, participate. Come, join. You can join virtually or you can join in person, and you're going to experience exactly how we do it. We treat this meeting differently, except like one or two sentences where we actually call out the clients that are on the call today. But other than that, it's the same meeting. So my question to you, Eric, is whenever you have your next meeting with your agents, or your next call with your agents, why not use that and give them a sneak peek, a teaser, a sampler, basically, on how this is. I don't know how these meetings with your sales meeting usually, with your sales team usually is. I'm just saying, if it's a full day, maybe you invite people to the first half of the day and give them an experience. Literally, I'm sitting in the room with you guys who are doing this every single day, and I'm getting a sneak peek of it. So it's better than just talking about it. They actually experience how it is. It's not a special event where we need to create more work around it.
Yeah, you're just letting them. So I like that. We were kind of thinking something, kind of in that realm. One of the things that Judy's planning to do again is we've done some masterminds. So Judy's also John Maxwell certified. So she does, masterminds on leadership, on communication. And in the past, when I did our elite producer group strategy and planning sesh, we had great feedback. And it comes from then. We were thinking like, what if we opened it up to, maybe like a select group of agents. At that time, I was thinking like maybe they're paying for it because they don't have that level of support, right? So when Judy was doing this mastermind idea for internal team, I thought, we brought up the discussion, is this, I don't know if the mastermind, because it's like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Like, I don't know if that's the approach, right? But from that, there's also these like lunch and learns, right? And it's like the value ladder, right? You would go to a company and say, hey, let me do a lunch and learn. And by the end of that meeting, you're essentially saying, all right, if you're interested, we've got different, like, we can do a mastermind with you guys. So I said, maybe it's that approach where we say, hey, what if we're promoting sort of like a 1 hour session instead of an 8 week, but hitting some of these topics that may draw people. And again, it's a little differentiator, or some type of training that we're going to do. So with Frank, we're planning to do a lot of training with their agents, and maybe we're either maybe we're opening it up, to a few, so like a group, right, that they could join, because some of these things we're doing, we know other agencies aren't doing. They're not like as involved in like into the weeds with the agent. So how do you think we could potentially promote that?
So before I go to the promotion part of it, because the mechanism is always the same in these particular things, I just want to, point one more thing out. And maybe this is just a Patrick thing, but to me, I'm either all in or not at all. You're going to, whenever I'm going to sell you something, you're either going to pay full price or it's free. To me, there's no in between. It's either black or it's white. It's red or it's blue. It's green or it's yellow. To me, this is like, there's no in between. So the reason why I say that is you're either going to be part of something where we're actually doing something with the people that in our network, with our agents. So this is a day of sales training, and you are invited. If you qualify, you are invited to join the whole thing. We're not holding anything back. And quite frankly, the biggest differentiator is the accountability, and then the follow-up and all the stuff that we do after the call or after the meeting. So they're not going to run away with a super secret sauce, and they do something on their own. So you're either going to be in or you're not. And the final example I want to give you, if I want to do Josh, Jaime, I'm going to use you guys as an example. Let's just say you want to elevate your marketing skills and you want to see how it is working with clients at Cardone Ventures. I can tell you guys, okay, come on over, and I'm going to do a presentation for you so you see actually how we do things. Or I can say, spend a day or two with me, and you're sitting right next in my office or on my desk, and you're going to shadow me, and you're going to see everything that I do. And all you need to do is soak it up, take notes, and then ask questions afterwards. Which option would you rather prefer? And I'm pretty sure that both of you just want to come over and just sit here and we do the stuff together. It's the same kind of principle. If they are at your location, if they are participating in a Zoom, if they're actively with you, they feel the energy, and then it triggers them. It's like, oh yeah, shoot, I want that too. I want to be part of that group because these guys are awesome. It's better than just a presentation or a lunch and learn. I get the concept of a lunch and learn, but simply by, Eric, when you said we can do something like a lunch and learn, I'm having an experience in my head about some of the lunch and learns I did in the past, and most of them were not that great. So I'm associating this with a negative thing. So depending on how we call it, it may decrease or increase the likelihood that somebody's actually going to join. If I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to join you, you sit right next to me, we're going to do everything together, I'm not holding anything back. So you're basically part of what I do. You probably didn't have an experience like that, which makes it exciting and increases the chance that they actually want to do it. Because all we want to do, and I'm pretty confident in that, all we want to do is have them sit basically in the group of people that we're doing the training with, the agents that we're working with, and experience it how it actually is. Going back to the original example of the Costco sample, taste it, and then you can get this right in the fridge around the corner. And then people take it.
So yeah, thanks for that. And yeah, when I was thinking of lunch and learn, I was thinking more of the idea that you're providing like nuggets and value that make them want more, right? And it's just like giving them this short period of time, and you're just like, man, how do I get more of this? And that's like the hook, right? But I like what you said. So essentially what we can do, and even like in Judy's mastermind, right? It could be like, join this topic. Like one day has a topic. It'd be like, hey, open. And it's that one day, and they get the experience of how she facilitates that, how people collaborate, Right. Maybe it's not the whole thing, but it's like, hey, on this day, it's on, I don't know.
This topic is this day, right?
Come and join us and be a part of this mastermind, right? Or it could be some of the trainings we're doing with our agents and just saying, hey, come to learn how to build your strategy, or come how to please improve your sales techniques, open to all agents.
Yes. Now, love it. here's the next part, because to your question, how do we promote it? You want to promote it in a way you described it right now. So you want to say something like, hey, we're having this awesome day with all of the agents in our network. And we're going to spend 6 hours together on discussing this, that, and the other. And I want to invite you, if you qualify, to take a sneak peek behind the curtain, actually work with us, sit with us, observe how we do things for that specific topic. And here are the 5 topics that we're going to talk about. You only can pick one. Which one would you like? And then let's see if you qualify. So we're making this desirable. We're telling them, hey, this is part of a bigger picture. There's like multiple things that we're going to discuss, but you only have a chance to join one session. So going back to what people did in the event space for many, many years, there's the main stage and then there's breakouts. And these breakouts all happen at the same time. So you got to pick and choose which one would you like. Guess what happens? I'm choosing one and then I'm buying the recording of the other one because I feel like I missed out. Now, this is not applicable for us, but the next step, aka the equivalent to I'm buying the recording because I want to see the other one too. I might register for the next one for a different session that we're going to do. And if I join like 2 or 3 of them and I'm still not sold in, then I'm not the best candidate anyways. But most likely we will win them as an agent for us. That's the goal. And as a benefit, as a bribe, if you will, we can say, hey, you're still not a stellar agent yet. But it seems like, based on what you said, it seems to me like you are very ambitious. You want to become a high performer. How about I'm going to talk to my marketing people and we're going to let you in the Facebook group so you can actually interact and see how we work on the back end as well. Just as a teaser. It's not the equivalent to the let's run with the lunch and learn or with the training or with the session, the strategy session, the planning session that we do, whatever fancy name we have. But it gets you one step closer. And then we can work them and see and make them an offer, which then is the sales process. But the promotion piece is always, here's a bigger thing. Here's the whole pizza. I'm going to give you one slice of that if you actually are interested in learning more about XYZ topic.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat you the same way.
And in this phase, you would recommend that this is a free offer to our agent network, right? Like
if you qualify, and here are the 3 or 5 qualifiers that I have. Right. So one of the things, just to keep in mind, we're talking about top performers or wannabe top performers. What is the most important, or what's the first thing? Grant talks about that all the time. What is the first thing in sales that you want to do? You want to show up. So one of the rules is we're meeting at 10 a.m. sharp. Make sure you actually show up on time. There's no excuses. If you join 10:05, you're out. Again, I might sound a little aggressive, but you get my point.
Yeah.
The meeting starts on time and it ends on time. That's one of the things. And then come up with like 2 or 3 other qualifiers that you see as a requirement in order to accept these as a potential new agent in our network group. You need to be friendly and cooperative. You need to be willing to engage and communicate. So we don't want people who just sit back in the corner and just observe the room like a fly on the wall, right? So you got to go stretch your rubber band, go out and ask questions, interact. There's no stupid question, these kind of things. So I would set these, to put this in very plain English terms, Eric, it's your house, it's your rules. Mm-hmm. Either I'm going to like it or I don't. If I don't, I'm not coming. And if I do, then I want to hang out in your house every single day. It's your rules. You set the playing field.
And I like that. And those that maybe click on it, that don't register or whatever, the retargeting can be like, hey, it looks like you're interested in improving certain aspects of your business, join the elite agent network, right? And then as they come into this and we're continue to create content, now we're nurturing those through positioning ourselves. So this is going to lead to growing the group.
Agents, yes.
Got it.
100%.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
to sum this up, content shooting is happening next week.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can work on
Yeah.
the plan based on the topics that we just discussed, maybe with Frank even come up with these qualifying questions. Let's create a whole series. Josh, create a whole series of visuals that go along with it, all with the thing in mind. There's something big happening. How often do we meet with our agents?
We meet with, we meet with them at least every month for a sales meeting.
Okay.
But
We
So
just
then-
did, we just did an annual kickoff,
Mhm.
and I'm wondering if, it was on virtual, but going to your part of like experience, I wonder if, since it's recorded, if there's some way we splice up some parts of it and we make that public, where it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I don't know, maybe
That's a
even
teaser.
that could be a little way
teasers.
of
Yep.
showing them how, oh, you guys do that, because I'm sure there's going to be companies that are very hands off with independent brokers.
Mhm.
So maybe we look at that and see like what part of this can we also kind of give some exposure to, that it creates curiosity, or
Yep.
they like that, right?
Yep. How long was the meeting?
The meeting was about an hour, and we had different topics. We even had one of the chief growth officers for a health plan scan, who's a friend
Mhm.
of mine. He helped with the kickoff talk on the industry. So I don't necessarily want to publicize his part, but definitely it'd probably be good to feature that we did
Yep.
something in collaboration with them, that he was there to
Yep.
support. So I don't know. I was thinking around that area too.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of content, Josh, for you to slice and dice and make a couple of ad creatives around that. Keep them short. Keep in mind, these are
Right.
teasers,
Yes.
right? Only
Yeah.
that's the snack size. That's the Costco sample. I just want you to, sniff it, lick it, and get a little bit of a teaser from it, which should lead you into, okay, what Eric said, I want more of that. That's the goal of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And,
Demonstrate that that there's a bigger strategy in place, aka we meet every single month. This month we're doing something very special. We've never done this before.
Yeah.
Stuff messaging like that resonates with people. Exclusivity is really, really high.
Eric, you said Judy's planning on doing these meetings. Do we have do we have a date
yeah.
on those, or
She's ready to go. We don't have a date. She could do it, in a couple weeks. We're just trying to get all these ideas,
okay.
in play. Because we weren't sure, is this, and initially we're like, yeah, we'll open it up. When we did it last year, when Frank was working for another company and we were posting, hey, we're doing this, he actually reached out, hey, could I join that? And I was like, this is like internal. I was like, yeah, you can join. He couldn't make it though. But that's where I thought, man, maybe, and some people were like, hey, that's really cool. Maybe we open it up one day, right? And so, but I like this. Hey, we're doing this mastermind on this topic. Feel free to join. And if we have a schedule, then they can maybe join on a particular day.
Right.
Or we're also doing trainings at our office that Frank's going to be doing with Judy. And maybe it's that, right? Like we just got to figure out what are we offering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
And
the
I would
agenda?
keep it, yes. So, and I would keep it generic to start with, not saying, hey, it's happening on the 25th at 10 a.m. Pacific, just keeping it generic. We're thinking about opening this up and inviting, less than a handful of ambitious agents who want to achieve X, Y, and Z, to our group. If you want to be considered and you actually, fill the requirements, that we have for that, feel free to apply. Something along these lines. Here's a link where you can find out more. And the landing page is really important because it needs more meat around it.
Right.
It needs more education around it. But that will help. One thing, just to ease you in a little bit of the fear. A lot of people have fears. It's like, hey, what about if I give away my good stuff, all my best stuff, and I give away that for free? Don't worry about it.
No.
Yeah, no.
Literally,
No.
don't. The concept that we recommend to most of our clients is going in the direction of show, know how. So it's not show know-how. It's know-how. Show that you know your stuff, but don't show them how to actually do it. Show me how good the sausage tastes, but don't show me how you actually make it. Because the making of the sausage is something that you only get once you're really like deep in. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Show know-how is basically what I'm recommending. And by demonstrating, hey, these are the meetings that we do. This is the morning meeting that we do at Colin Ventures every single day. We know our stuff. We know, and you can do the same thing. Even if you watched like 2 or 3 of our morning meetings, I would go that far and say most of the people still don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like everything, right? Like
That's true.
Right.
Tell somebody what to do, and pretending
Right.
people actually do it is slim to
Damn.
none. It doesn't even
Yes.
matter. You can give away
That's
the
right.
sauce.
That's right. So don't be afraid.
Take action. Good for them.
Don't be afraid. Yeah, that's right. Awesome.
And that's really the philosophy of what a lot of, marketers do nowadays is,
Content creator,
here's everything,
Give.
give. Yeah.
Yeah. Jaime.
Yeah,
do you wanna-
there is an agency that does hey, come behind the scenes, and they charge for that, but at the same time you do a lot for free, right? So they end up showing behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Yep. Cool.
Just another topic, maybe it's for next call, but it's kind of coming up as we're kind of meeting one-on-one with our top agents. They're starting to ask for like that support. They're seeing a lot of what we're doing on social media, and they're kind of like, hey, how do we promote our events or activities better? And so I put it on the agenda. Maybe we can start kind of like thinking of how we structure that, because we opened up last year, Friday Media Day. So I was like, me and Frank and Josh were recording every week. We just said, hey, agents, if you guys want to come and get content recorded, come on Friday, right? So now a lot of agents are like, oh man, I can't miss that opportunity. We help some agents with their events during AEP, like where Josh and Frank went to film for them. And I was a little concerned in the beginning with that level of commitment because it's not sustainable. But Frank's idea was like, hey, we're just helping them with the first one. The idea is that then they continue, right?
Right.
So, yeah, my concern is more on like the advertisement side. If we start supporting agents, because it's part of my desire is always to help them, right? So we start saying like, hey, for them to figure it out, it's just going to be a huge time investment, money investment. They're going to run into the problems that we ran into before. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, what if what we did with some agents is Jaime managed it, right? We just said, hey, here's the content. This is the location. And between the team, we market it for them. It came into HubSpot, right? And we're kind of like dishing the leads to them. And so now moving forward, I'm thinking, at least with our elite producers, how do we help them? But then I'm concerned like on the advertisement side, if we start advertising for them and they're local to us as well, doesn't that impact our effectiveness, right?
Right.
So Frank was like, no, we got to have a territory. Like if they want to do it in this area, then we're not going to compete with them there. Like we start having to structure that. With some of the agents we have out of the market is easier, right? Like we have an agent that wants to do it in Arizona, right? Like it's easier. Like, what about locally?
So what I'm about to say is probably not something that you're going to like. I just need to say it. Clients in the SBU, if we have a client that is in close proximity to you in the same industry, we're not accepting you as a client, because our commitment to you, in this case, Eric, is more worth to us than taking on somebody else. So if I would have somebody who is in the same industry, sells the same kind of things in the same area, we're not accepting them. Mm-hmm. We publish a lot of content that is freely available, that they can then take and mimic, but it's not the same as working within the SBU. So what I mean by that is we can give these agents the frameworks and all of the stuff. Josh, your process of how to create content, shoot content, edit it, and make it ready. Jaime, how you set this up on the socials, on how to actually publish it to the world. We can give them these frameworks and templates, but then they need to do it on their own. They can join our planning sessions where we say, okay, here's best practice of what we do. I can care less what everybody else does, but we post 2 times every single day on this channel and on that channel, and we're doing this consistently. If you want to make a commitment and actually mimicking what we do, I can give you all of the templates and the resources, but you still got to put in the work. Or let's figure out if we can build like an in-house agency that can supply you with all these materials. But then we're talking about something too big I would say too big for this quarter, at least.
Yeah.
If you want,
Because the other part of that is we've gotten some good feedback on the customer service virtual staff that we've assigned to agents.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next thing is as I'm talking to some of these agents, obviously like customer service, they can't do everything, right? So they're like, yeah, I gotta do this. And then is that a service that we're providing? So then the idea is, what if we assign them a virtual staff member, not focus so much on customer service, but more on handling their socials, creating the content with them, right? And then that's an outsource that we're doing too. So that's kind of like...
Yes, and it can be a training where we teach people how to do that. This can be a separate section within the promotion part of how to become a top performing agent. Or, and again, I'm going to give you an example of what we do at Cardone Ventures. So some of the clients that we have are not fully staffed with a marketing team. So we have services for that we offer if it's applicable in exchange for a specific fee. So we have 10x marketing services. If you don't have somebody who writes content, we have a team of content writers, editing video, shooting ads, running ads, we have that. It's not even included with SBU clients, but it's an option. If the advisor makes a recommendation, it's up to the owner to decide, okay, I want this, or I want to keep it in-house. So it's an option. But again, this means Stella Insurance is actually building an in-house marketing team. And that is bigger. It sounds enticing, but there's so much work that needs to go in there. And I would rather tackle this at some point later down the road. Okay.
Got it.
But it would definitely benefit us in the future, like you said. That will definitely set us apart.
The thing is that just the concept of it, right? Then could become a potential draw for top agents outside, right? Like
that's right.
What I find is like the top agent technically is a doer of everything, right? But their main thing is probably like sales, but they're handling their customer service. So as we relieve some agents from customer service duties, the next thing is we're going to have agents that say, I need to do better marketing. I don't have time to do my socials. It's inconsistent. So then we can say, hey, look, this is what we offer. And, it could draw agents in, especially if we say, join us on our meetings, right? Join us on this, right? Some.
Right. Yeah. At the beginning, it's not scalable. But seeing or thinking about if this is something that would actually resonate with most of the agents would be a great idea. So let's leave it on the list. Let's talk about this maybe for like 15 or 20 minutes on our next call. But now that I'm hearing this for the first time, my gears are starting to spin. Do the same thing with you guys. And let's just see if we have 1 or 2 beta clients, the one that are really close to you, Eric, that you want to offer that as a test, maybe for a month, and see if we can do it. My hesitation is right now, not starting this right now without having a plan. Otherwise, Jaime and Joshua are really spread thin. And there's a lot of things that we want to do for the Stella brand right now. So I just want to put this out as well.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Awesome. Jaime, just to wrap this up, Josh, Jaime, did you receive login credentials to your CEO? Are you having access to the training?
Let me check. I don't believe I got an email or anything.
You should get an email. It usually takes up to 48 hours. I can check with the team again just to make sure. But all of the training is within that Cardone U. Cardone U is within CEO. And we just did some reorganization of all of the content pieces in there. So that's why you did see it yesterday and not today.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
I was like, man, I just saw it yesterday. Like, it's gone.
Yeah, we just moved all of the stuff around.
Okay. Just wanted to make
so
sure
given
I
that-
wasn't losing my mind.
Yeah. Whenever you get an email and a confirmation with your login details, shoot me a quick message. Then I know.
Okay.
If not, I'm going to follow up with the team internally to see
Yeah,
where we at.
yeah, I haven't got it yet though, but I still
it.
have access to
Okay.
my other one.
I haven't gotten it yet either.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's still in that 48-hour